The Chosen Season 5, aka The Chosen Last Supper Part 1, is in theaters right now, but not everyone can go and watch it, am I right? That's why I have brought together a few scenes from the new episodes in an attempt to give you a little sneak peek of what's to come. Among the scenes you probably haven't seen before, I have Jesus and a few of his disciples at the Mount of Olives having a most difficult conversation about the future, and Peter getting ready for his first sermon while Matthew is making fun of him. Let's see what happens in Season 5, Episodes 1, 2, and beyond. The Last Supper. I'm sure you weren't expecting this to be the first scene I'm mentioning, but it's true. I learned that the Last Supper will not only be in a single episode towards the end of the season. In fact, every episode opens with a little scene from the Last Supper with Jesus talking to the apostles. So the season is subtitled Last Supper for a reason. We will see moments from it throughout the season, which is a great decision in my opinion. Episode 1, for instance, opens with sections from John 16 where Jesus plainly warns his followers about how he's going away, and he asks them whether they really believe him. And of course, the disciples declare their allegiance to him. What do you think of this decision? Do you think it was wise for the series to show us bits and pieces of the Last Supper throughout the season rather than showing it all in a single episode? Let me know in the comments. Triumphal Entry. Only after the Last Supper intro, the season continues where it left us off, with Jesus and the disciples traveling toward Jerusalem. Before they even enter the city, however, Zebediah and Yusuf stop them. It's mostly Zebediah who gets angry at Jesus, as people call him the son of David, and he's fulfilling a prophecy by riding into the city on a donkey. We know that Yusuf is more moderate towards Jesus, but he's not ready to join him fully yet. After Zebediah's final warnings, of course, Jesus doesn't listen and marches into the city nonetheless. This is where we see characters like Veronica, Simon Z's brother Atticus, and more. Weeping over Jerusalem. This is part of a larger scene in episode 1 where Jesus wants to stay alone and walk throughout the city. At one point, he stumbles upon a wedding and joins in on the celebration. He doesn't want to attract attention, but a boy recognizes him, and this is where everyone yells Hosanna to the Son of David. He ends up blessing the bride and groom and goes on his way. He ascends to a wall above the temple court and starts lamenting over the chaos of the city. There's even a vision of the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, so our predictions were correct. These scenes in the trailer were part of a flash forward where Rome is destroying Jerusalem. Peter's sermon. This is actually one of the scenes I've been so excited to see, as Peter is one of my favorite characters on the show. Apparently, after everyone arrives in Jerusalem, Jesus asks his disciples to spread his teachings in the city. This is where Peter calls for Matthew and tells him that he's going to preach and that he should write about this in his little book. He wants Matthew to be there to record any crazy things that can come out of his mouth. There's even a funny interaction between the two.
You're assuming I'll be good at this.
Yeah, you'll be terrible.
Previously, while the cast and crew were filming Season 5, we had received a little sneak peek into his first sermon, and it was a disaster, but practice makes perfect, right? Cleansing of the temple. I was actually waiting for this scene to happen in episode 1, but it's actually happening in episode 2. The end of episode 1 teases the scene with Jesus preparing the whip, but the actual action takes place in the second episode. It's not only Jesus driving money changers and sellers from the temple grounds, there's also a big confrontation with the Pharisees. How excited are you to see this scene? Rate your excitement on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll go first, -10. Shocker, right? Mount of Olives. This one's a scene released on the Hot Corn YouTube channel, and they don't specify which episode it's from. I'm guessing it's not episode 1 or 2, but from a later episode. It's Jesus with John, Peter, and Andrew. At first I thought this was the cursing of the fig tree, but they appear to be on the Mount of Olives, directly seeing the city of Jerusalem. According to the Bible, Jesus visits the Mount of Olives 3 times during the last week of his earthly life, and I think this scene depicts the second visit where Jesus responds to his disciples' question, "When will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the close of this age?" So Jesus talks about the tribulation period and the second coming of Christ. The sneak peek scene starts with Andrew talking about the things Jesus just told them, their deaths and the end of the age. Then Jesus wants them to leave him alone as he needs a moment. As they leave, the beloved John kisses Jesus on the head and tells him he loves him. Jesus responds back, I love you too. I'll leave the link to this video in my description box below so you can check out the full scene if you want to. Judas to the bad side. If there's one character who will make us all angry and sad at the same time, that is Judas, as throughout the season we will see him move closer and closer to the bad side. In one scene, he has a discussion with Jesus and he raises his voice trying to understand why Jesus does not take his advice. In another, we will see him having a meeting with Caiaphas. Yes, that meeting with the money exchange. Are you ready to watch these scenes? If you've already seen these episodes, let me know in the comments. If you haven't, do tell me that as well so that I don't feel so alone while waiting for the Prime Video release. Meanwhile, if you want to learn more about what's going on with the incredible actor Jonathan Rumi, check out this video.